Hey guys, this is Cardageddon TCG, and today for our first episode, I'm going to be showing off some of the decks that I've made in the past. Now, Cardageddon is a game that I've been working on for about a year or more, and I've made a couple decks for each of the several elements. We've got water on the far left, earth over here, magma right here, and the humanoids, which isn't really an element. However, I was really struggling on picking out a fourth one, and I didn't want to leave out a fourth element. So I think it'd only be best to start from my favorite, which is going to be the fire element. So in the first episode, we're going to be covering the fire deck. And don't worry, there's so many more cards to come to this game, we haven't even started. So the fire element is going to start off with the fire land. Alright, here is the first creature for the fire deck. This is a part of my fire archetype called the Lavas, and an archetype is a group of cards that share the same name in order to interact with each other easier than other cards. So, in this case, this guy's effect, he's a fire creature, 3 mana to pay, 2 defense and 1 attack. Once per turn, you can send 1 lava card you control to the DC, which is the discard. Play 1 basic land from your hand or deck. We'll learn about those later in this deck. Here's some other lava cards that you can probably send to the graveyard with this effect. Our second monster is going to be Lava Glorbion. When this card is played, send a lava card from your deck to the DC. Now the fire archetype, at least this archetype, is all about sending cards to the graveyard in order to get their effects to activate. This guy costs 1 mana, so he's the smallest amount. Every turn you get 3 mana, so this is only going to take up one of those 3. He has 2 attack and he has 1 defense, and we're going to run 2 of him just because he's a simple playmaker. Next we have 1 copy of Lava Magma Core. He has 0 attack, 3 defense, and he costs 2 mana, but he has the effect that says this card gains 2 attack for every lava spell in your discard. If you're sending your lava spells to the discard with these guys' effects, you can get this guy to 6, 8 attack, all that stuff, right? And then once per turn you can send a lava spell you control to the discard and have this card gain 1 attack. So not only are you giving it a permanent 1 attack, but you're also fueling another 2 attack. So once he's summoned, he could be a 3/3 beater, which is pretty useful to have in the game. Alright, next we are going to see Lava Tortoise, which is going to be our last lava creature. This card gains 1 attack for every lava utility spell you control. Now there are several types of spells. Utility spells are just spells that stay on the field in a utility zone. Think about it like continuous spells in Yu-Gi-Oh! Once per turn, you can send 1 utility spell you control to the DC, free play a lava creature from your deck, which means you get to basically special summon any one of these guys from the deck, which is super good and helps you get more combos off. He's a big boy at 4 defense, however he's going to cost you a turn's worth of mana, and he only has 1 attack. And next we run just the generic Volcano Beast, which is just your generic fire boss. He doesn't really have anything to do with these guys. He just says that fire creatures you play from the hand cost 1 less. So basically, instead of paying 3 mana for this guy, you only have to pay 2. However, this guy is 2 turns worth of mana, since he's 4 mana, and you gotta wait 1 turn to get 3, and then another turn to get another 3. 4 attack though, and a 3k booty to boot, so this guy can definitely defend himself quite well. Lava Smoke is one of our utility spells. It is the whole way this deck works is that you use these creatures to work with the environment, which is made up of like a ton of fire, trees, and other flora in order to just get some combos off and win you the game. This is a 1-star, and it says all lava creatures gain 1 defense. If this card is sent from the field to the discard, free play a lava creature from your hand or deck. That's a pretty powerful ability. So if you play it for 1, and then you, let's say, use the effect of Lava Magma Core to send it to the graveyard, in order to give it 1 attack, you also gain 2 attack, and then you get to free play another creature out, which is very useful. Let's keep these guys all here. Next we have Lava Goopus, another one of your utility spells. 1-star. Once per turn, you can discard 1 card, add a lava card from your deck to your hand, If this card is sent to the discard, you can destroy one card in the field. So you can just summon your Goopus, send this to the graveyard, and you automatically get to destroy a card in the field. That's super powerful. However, we only run 2 of these and 2 Goopuses, so you're only going to ever get about 2 destructions. Next we have Lava Berry. It's a utility spell for 1 mana. During your check step, which is like your standby phase in Yu-Gi-Oh!, you can discard up to 2 cards, then gain stars equal to the cards sent to the DC this way. If this card is sent from the field to the DC, shuffle any amount of lava cards from your DC into the deck. So that helps recycle your monsters and your spells so you can reuse them later in the game. And then our last lava card, I think, is going to be Lava Branch, which is a utility spell for 1 star that says all lava creatures gain 2 attack. If this card is sent to the discard, you can target 1 card on the field, shuffle the target into the deck. So that's pretty good. If your opponent protects themselves from being destroyed, you can just shuffle them instead. Next we have Legendary Sword. It is an attachment spell, which is like an equip spell, and the attached creature gains 1 attack for every spell in the discard. Because we're pitching a ton of spells to the discard, this is going to be super useful and help you swing over your opponent's heavy defense monsters. Next we have Mithril Shield. To activate this card, free play 1 creature from either player's discard and attach that card to this card. The creature loses all effects and gains 1 attack and 1 defense. And that's a 2-star. Here's a 2-star as well. It's an Expansive Wilds. It's a spell. Add 1 land card from your deck to your hand. And then we have, I think this is, no, we have one more spell after this. Cancel. It's a flash spell. When a creature's effect is activated, cancel the effect and destroy the card. So basically just a negate for creature effects. And then we have Champion's Gift. Sacrifice 2 creatures, draw 2 cards, and it's a 1-star. So that's our way to balance a Pot of Greed-like effect, and also it's one of my favorite arts. I do all this art by hand. I don't have a photocopier yet to do it, but once I do get a photocopier, that's going to make my life so much easier. Ooh, and we have one more spell, the not-so-obvious reference of Orb of Encasing. It's a spell for 0 stars, and you could pay a number of stars equal to a creature's star amount, and then take control of that creature. So you play this, you pay 4 stars, and you could take control of an opponent's 4-star creature, and then the last 3 cards we have in this deck are just all magma lands. And basically, lands are very useful for a deck's success, because the way the game works is that both players start off with this little magma land, or whatever start land they're using. As you can see, it does say start fire land. This is going to be their start fire land. Every time you get a land into your hand, you have the option to play it, but you can only play 1 land once per turn adjacent to a land you already control, and then from that land you can now play cards. So before, you can only play like 1 utility spell all the way down here, you can't really see it, but back here in this row, and then you'd play a creature here, and that's how the game works. But if you have more lands, that means you can play more creatures. So every deck has to find the balance between how many lands they want to make, and how many lands they want to have, and how many creatures they want to have. So that way they can just set up a board and get opening hands that can help them further plays. This is just like a start to my game. I'm thinking of like adding a ton more rules. Before it used to only be get 2 stars per check step, but I've kind of given you more so that way you can do more with the game. But yeah, that is the fire deck done. Let me know what you think in the comments, guys, and what deck you would like to see next. I know I'm a small channel right now, but with all the cards that I have yet to show, I have like tons and tons of these cards that I've never actually showed to anyone else yet. So this is a nice little way to start it with the 4 basic elements and what kind of things you can do with them. So yeah, I'll see you all later. This has been Cardageddon TCG signing out.